guys, and welcome back to another episode of From the Shadows. Now, I'm going to show you some highlights in a second of the 3 games that I've played, so the 2 in the league, 1 in the cup, as well as the highlights of the Saint-Etienne game, which I've yet to actually play, but it just makes things easier because I like to bust up the timeline. That's just something I like to do. So, if we could get 150 likes on this episode, that would be glorious. I know we're getting incredibly close to the end of FM15 now, and that is why I've decided this will be the last year in Paris. I looked at the sort of calendars and stuff, and I realised that even if I somehow managed to condense the season down a little bit more than I already do, which would be a lot more work, and I don't really have the time for it, but I could probably stretch it. It still wouldn't be enough. I could maybe put a season down to like 8 episodes if I really pushed it, but even with that, there just wouldn't be enough time left, basically, because I want to have a few days in between for me to sort out things for FM16, because I'm making loads of cool stuff for the first 2 episodes of my 2 new series, which obviously I won't be running simultaneously, but the Wales one will of course be for the beta, and then of course Wimbledon, once the full game comes out. I'm massively looking forward to it, but it does mean I've got to make new graphics, new After Effects stuff, and flashy shit, basically, transitions and whatnot, but I need a few days to do that, as well as to prepare things like the awards, as well as, of course, the looking forward. There will be a looking forward episode for Paris too, so do not worry about that. Right, this is a double live comment, so we're not going to do ourselves a question of the day, because we just need to get straight into things, basically. So, here is the highlights of the games that we've just played, basically, so enjoy those. No, it's not. Greshkin, and somehow they've got the ball back here. Lamar, Makar. Oh, for the love of God. I mean, they've been decent so far, but do we have to concede goals like that? Riek, Makar, long range strike, Nantes 1, Paris 0. Not good, guys, not good. Makar. Oh, so much space for Knarkar. Look at the amount of players at the back post. Belhandia's in, and he must score, and somehow, oh no, they have anyway. Of course. The chance looked like it had gone, but Greshkin makes it 2-0 to Nantes now, and they've been the better side today, they really have, but Greshkin's through, and goalkeeper doesn't come out, and it is Nantes 3, Paris 0. We've created the better chances than them, really, but that hasn't made any difference on the night, and we're 3 goals down now, unfortunately, having had to go for it in the end. Greshkin steps up, takes a penalty, 4-0 Nantes, didn't know what the penalty was for, free kick whipped in, penalty given, Orberg is now going to be banned as well. I don't know where this game's come from, really. Knope now with the ball to Part J1. Back across for Dahoul. Turns, shoots, goal. Nantes 4, Paris 1. We've created decent chances in this game, just not enough shots overall, I think. Shame. There we go, guys. Nantes 4, Paris 1. It's just another one of those games where you don't deserve to lose 4-1, and yet we just have, again. Outside for Luis, who's going to be key for us today because he's one of the senior players in the squad. Whips it across, Chevalier's in there, and that is 1-0 to Paris. Cherbourg 0, Paris 1, Sylvain Chevalier. The perfect start, 6 minutes in. We've been superb so far. Brilliant goal, guys. I get the feeling this could be a long day for Cherbourg if they don't play their cards right here. Holt come inside, Knope with the strike, and it is 2-0 to Paris. After just 17 minutes, we've already had 15 shots. Knope getting his 6th goal of the year. It's good to see him get a few goals. Holt with the assist. And he's a bit through for someone. Goes to, Holt's round. Holt strikes it, comes back to him, has another go, and he's put it in at the rebound this time. Ivor Holt, 13 goals this year. He's got a goal and an assist already today. This is the sort of day that he can really flourish in this team. Luis with the free kick. Has to get in on the act, and he does. Cherbourg 0, Paris 4. Luis's 16th goal of the season, our 4th of the night, and we are rocking and rolling here in France. Go guys, Cherbourg 0, Paris 4. A very good performance against a poor side. Good chance to give the youngsters some confidence. Going to have to find a cross. He does. Cherry with the strike, and there is the goal. Paris 1, Troyes 0. Cherry's 20th goal of the season. It's certainly not the tally he's up to last year, but he's still doing a bloody good job for us. Hope now with the ball whipped across Sidibe's header. Luis knocks it down. Uchan doing what he does, in off the crossbar. Paris 2, Troyes 0. 8th goal of the season for Salih Uchan. My God, I'm glad we signed him to another deal. Luis. We're going through the middle a lot at the moment because that's their weak spot, I sense. Knope. Oh, Cherry can turn. Cherry can score. 3-0 to Paris. Lovely old job. Hope now goes all the way to the edge for Matas. We could turn this into something, though. Uchan. Back to Knope. This is a nice worked piece of play. Part J1 off the bench to have a goal, maybe? Yes, there he goes. Paris 4, Troyes 0. Part J1. 15 goals this year for the lad. Well done, you. There we go, guys. Paris 4, Troyes 0. We're right back in the Champions League race, but those injuries could be very costly. Shikawi. Ball in. Tete, oh, this is a goal. Mendy, it's 3 players around him and it's ended up in the back of the net anyway. Mendy puts it in for Saint-Etienne. It's a decent start from us in possession-wise, but other than that, we've created nothing and deserve to be behind. This is going to be a carbon copy goal, isn't it? Nels through, and oh my God, they've scored the same goal twice, practically. Saint-Etienne 2, Paris 0, and we've done nothing so far apart from keep the ball. It's into Cherry. Can we get something back before half-time? Pulls it back for Knope, and it's in the back of the net. Saint-Etienne 2, Paris 1, and yeah, we've done all right there. Christian Knope, 7th goal of the season for him. Good stuff. Suma steps up, Oh, well, that went through the goalkeeper. That's an absolute joke of a penalty, by the way. And Bar just walked past the guy and took the ball off him, and it gave a penalty, for fuck's sake. Barging into space here. He's got 2 players on him, though. He goes past both of them and scores. What about that from Alberto Cherry? Saint Etienne 3, Paris 2. Great goal from Cherry. There we go. Saint Etienne 3, Paris 2. I really don't think we deserve to lose that one either, but there you go. The changes just don't seem to work anymore. Right, we're back. And as you can see, weird against Nantes, just one of those games. I changed the system a little bit in that game and it just didn't work for us. It just happens sometimes. Cherbourg, we were fantastic, and against Troyes, we were brilliant, and we need to sort of carry that form into today's game against Napoli. Now, the injuries we suffered in the last game actually, thankfully, weren't too serious, and I believe they're both available for today's game. We're going to jump straight in because it is away. Oh, if they play with a back 3. If they play with a back 3. If Napoli genuinely turn up with a back 3, we could have... They've got Jerome Sinclair up front. I'm not joking. I think that's Jerome Sinclair. We're just going to pick the team first. I can move stuff around when we actually get into the game. But it looks like Cherry, Dahoul. Is that really wise? I'm thinking... Nah, it's got to be Aslan. Dahoul is good, but Aslan is Aslan, and he's been superb this year. Of course, Knope has as well. But I'm just going to... I'll show you the squad before the next game. That way we've got a few more things out of the way and it won't look weird. So Cherry, Aslan, Knope, Luis, Uchan, Matas, Umbar. In his first appearance for a little while now. Allberg's done all right, actually, and I'm... Gotta be saying, I don't know why my assistants put him. I'm putting Allberg instead of Mbar. Look, he's as good and has got better ratings in the games he's played. Wagner, Sidibe, Ruiz, Calorio in goal, Francois Amara, Parchewon, Iverholt, Mbar, Christiansen, Dahoul. A really strong bench, and that's what I'm enjoying. Right, let's just see if they're going to line up like that. If they are, I will be in dreamland, because I don't think we've come up against one of those teams that play like that yet and not absolutely destroyed them. Now, I wouldn't say we'd destroy Napoli if they did play like that. My God, they are playing like that. Okay, so they actually... that must be Jerome Sinclair. It has to be. Yes, there it is. He was in my Portsmouth save for a little while. Wow, he's had a bit of a career, hasn't he? Jesus. Liverpool, Inverness, Dundee, Liverpool again, of course, he was on loan. Cardiff on loan, QPR in a player exchange, interestingly. Norwich, and then to Napoli for 6 million. So, look at this, though. He's not exactly hit top form with his goal scoring record, let's face it. So I'm hoping, and they've got Kennedy up top too as well, so this could be a little bit interesting, guys. This could be an interesting one. Interesting that they've actually got Brignoli, who I'm fairly certain was my goalkeeper at Roma in my other save for a little while, but there we go. So let's... Dejan Lovren, of course, who I pointed out, and Fabio Barini. Sorry, I'm done. Right, so because they're playing that type of system, what we're going to do is exploit the flanks. Now, against teams that play a back 3 or a back 5, generally this works quite well. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work today, and what I'm actually going to try and do is we're going to exploit the flanks, but we're also going to start on counter, because Napoli are a decent side. We may change that, but this is generally what's worked when I come up against these teams. They like to try and control the midfield, so we just sometimes let them, and then hopefully get in behind them, basically, because they have to play very, very wide in order to facilitate that back 3, and it means there's going to be a lot of space for us, both through the centre, and Aslan cleared. Oh, and nearly a very, very good start from us. Literally, opening minute of this game, we've already had 3 shots and a clear-cut opportunity. And cleared away. Uchan again. Cleared away again. What a start from Paris FC. This is the kind of start that we need. Sodzor, of course, me dissing Jerome Sinclair means he'll now score a hat-trick against us. So just keep that in mind. I think if we can get an away goal here in Italy, which I think, based on the start and the way they're playing, we've got every chance of doing, then we may have a real chance at winning the second leg of this. And I thought when we drew Napoli that was going to be a crazy tough tie, and it may still will prove to be that. But over 2 legs, if we can avoid embarrassing ourselves in the away leg, then there might be hope for us. You know, you've seen what we did against Hoffenheim a couple of years ago in the home leg. Yarmolenko, oh God, they've got so much space, and Jerome Sinclair has put it in. Their first shot on target is in the back of the net. It's his 11th goal this year, to be fair. So he scored a few, but that is 1-0 Napoli. Disappointing, because we've had some all-right chances so far, and I would have liked to have seen us... Well, perhaps not taking them, but I don't know, our pass completion is quite low. And in fact, possession has really swung towards Napoli for now. So we might have to go back under control at some point. Sorry, I've not had the highlights turned on at any point here. Now, the annoying thing is nobody picked up all those players on the edge, but they still passed it to one of the guys that was marked, and they scored. Right. All right, just that's it. Calm down. No need for any silliness now. Just chill. Sidibe, great pass to Aslan, who's pulled right out wide. Knope now, he's got a thread of pass through for Cherry, finds back for Luis, who can maybe have a little run at them, slips it through perhaps, no? Now he can, goes through all the way, and Brignoli makes the big save. So we're hitting the target, we've hit the target twice, we're looking reasonable, actually. Perhaps a little unlucky to be behind in this one at this point, but there we go. What can you do? We've just got to keep on going. An away goal would be of monumental importance in this one, even if we were to lose it like 2-1. I'd rather lose 2-1 than 1-0. Easily, so we've got to kind of go for this, but at the same time it's only 20 minutes in, so we might go control at half time if it's still sort of finely poised. Luis, bit of space now for Cherry perhaps. He's going to go alone again, and he has, and Brignoli makes the big save. we're not getting enough possession for this to really work, and that is an issue for me. So I'm actually thinking going on control might be the best approach right now. Also turning on retained possession, just to try and drag the ball away from them a little bit, if we can do. And also allow us to be sensitive to counter-attacking plays. Luis, he's got support, he must do. Nope, Cherry's through, and it's been blocked again, and it's in the back of the net. I think that might be an own goal. No, it's Alberto Cherry. Napoli won, Paris won, and, well, we've deserved that equaliser, definitely. We've created some good opportunities. I thought the chance had gone, if I'm honest. The ball was a little overhit, and the goalkeeper actually got there, but... oh, dear. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Okay, if that was my defender, I would have been furious. But the point is, we've got our away goal now through Alberto Cherry. Watch them immediately go back in front again. Oh, I thought the chance was clear, but Massi puts it in for Napoli. 2-1 to the Italians. This is going to be a very interesting tie. This is going to be like a giant game of chess, but I sense this is the sort of tie that can end up being like 7-5, because, again, the chance... this should have been cleared. This was so easy to clear. The guy on the post could have just walked away and tapped that out, but what can you do? We've got to just do our best. Possession-wise, we're looking better. We've created the same number of decent chances. They've had a few more half chances, is what I would say, but we're hitting the target enough. I say we haven't been good enough. We've been decent. You know, Napoli are a difficult side to play against. We cannot ignore that. Right, what do we do for the second half? I know I'd almost be tempted to go and exploit the middle, but the problem is this is going to be the issue. If we try to exploit the middle, we'll get caught up in this. I might just stick with what it is for now. 2-1 isn't even that bad, but an extra goal for us would be super. If we can grab us, even if we lost 3-2 or something, that second away goal could be massive, because... oh, damn it, Tristan. I would have liked to have kept him on longer, just because he is such an important player. Now, I prefer... Aslan's not had the best game either, but I will be moving Aslan into the attacking playmaker role, because I think he's got better passing than Part J1, and he's more likely to be able to pick out something that we actually need here. We've actually started to dominate the possession. Not dominate, but win. Jerome Sinclair is finding space. Let's close the bastard down. Cherry has scored the goal, but it kind of bounced in off of him. Perhaps this is either halt time. Aslan's been woeful, hasn't he? The last change might actually be Dahul on for Aslan, because he's got a 6.2 at the moment, and that might be costly later in this game. Barillo. 3-1 would be a bit poor. I won't lie to you. 3-1 would be... oh, come on. Straight through the goalkeeper's legs, and it's 3-1 to Napoli. Disappointing. 3-1 feels a little bit harsh on us. But then when has it ever not? I thought the goalkeeper probably should have had that as well. So good run from Sinclair. Once again, not tracked by Sidibe, but the goalkeeper goes with his foot for no apparent reason. Now we are going to go on control. On attacking. And Dahul is going to come on for Aslan, who's on a 6 right now. We've just not had good performances across the pitch, really. It's a shame, because we've done okay for the most part. It's just... they've taken their chance. They've barely hit the target. And they've hit the target 8 times, of course. But in terms of as a ratio... we just... I don't know. I'm sort of stretching... right, we need... if we can make it 3-2, that would be very, very nice for us. That would be... I'd be confident with that. Uchan. Luis. Dahul! On off the bench. Napoli 3, Paris 2. Rolando Dahul. He hasn't scored many, but he doesn't half love his assists. And that's a fair goal to have. I think we at least deserve that. Really, we probably could be at least... you know, maybe a 3-3 draw, but a 3-2 defeat isn't the worst result here in Italy. I think we can make that up at home, particularly with the 2 away goals we've now got ourselves. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up here. I think a 3-3 draw is in the pipeline here. We've still got it in us. Holt. Back to Orberg. He could probably go back to Holt again if he fancies it. Goes across. Luis puts it in the back of the net. Napoli 3, Paris 3. And I'm not entirely sure whether I want to stay on attacking. I wonder if Napoli will start to withdraw into their shell. We have really come back into this one with 3 away goals now. And if we could get an away draw, that would be good. But I just don't want to sit back too quickly, because that will just invite the pressure. But if we got a 4th goal and turn this around 1-4-3, that would be just something else. Holt, doing what he does. Good strike. Saved. Orberg on the rebound? No. Actually didn't take the rebound shot. We probably could have had a 4th goal there. I'm content to just sort of don't. There we go. I'm actually content. We're playing a lot better now that we're on attacking, which is odd. We'll probably take... oh, Holt through again. Holt through again, and he scored it. Napoli 3, Paris 4. What a turnaround. We're now winning in Italy, and really, you can't really begrudge us. I don't think that we... you know, okay, a draw would probably have been maybe a little bit fairer, but Holt, they're so good. Rounding his man, the composure, and the little dink over the goalkeeper. Napoli 3, Paris 4. I'm actually content to stay on attacking, just to keep the pressure on them. And maybe even nick a 5th goal. If we got a 5th goal, that would be probably tie over. Dahul's in. Can he whip it back across? He's... oh my god, we've got a penalty. I don't know where this game's come from. This is what I mean. When we... play well against this system. I just don't know what it was. I think it was getting Dahul on that's made the difference here, because Aslan was having a woeful time of it, and that is 5. Napoli 3, Paris 5. Out of nowhere, we've gone from 3-1 down to 5-3 up in this second half, and Dahul has to have had a... Look, what rating has he got since he's come off the bench? Where is he? He's on the pitch, of course he is. He's on an 8.2, and I think bringing him on seems to have been the difference for us, really, in this game. And there we go. This is going to be it. There we go. Napoli 3, Paris 5 in the away leg. 5 away goals and a 2-goal lead. Look at that, off the bench. 2 assists and a goal for Rolando Dahul. Aslan just wasn't his day. Ivor Holt, also great appearance off the bench for him, scoring the goal and the winner as well. So there we go, guys. A huge win for us away in Italy, and we might actually be going through to the next round at this rate. Now, I should warn you guys, if we do go through, we'll be up against AC Milan. So it's not all a bed of roses. As usual, the draws fucked us. And it looks like we will be going up against them if we go through, because you know, they're 5-0 up from the away leg against Aalborg. So yeah, AC Milan will be the team we'll play in the next round if we do go through, because we just can't catch a break in these tournaments, can we? So I will join you guys in a sec for the second leg against Napoli, where hopefully we will manage to get ourselves through, and of course, and look at the squad and stuff. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Right, guys, we're back for the second game of our double LiveCom today against Napoli. Now, as much as you might think that, you know, going into this game, the home leg with the lead, 2 goals and 5 away goals, it might be a foregone conclusion in a sense, but no, they're Napoli for one thing, and secondly, they, you know what we're like. As you've seen, sometimes the games just run away from us, and I've never found a way to manage to stop that. I've been making tactical tweaks over the last couple of episodes that generally seem to stop those kind of results, but this month they're back again. Games where we are better that we've lost, or games where we've been maybe as good as, maybe slightly worse, and we've lost heavily. It's really strange, and I thought we got rid of that, because after 2 or 3 episodes, the last couple, we've been pretty decent for that, particularly the last couple. But today, it's just back, and I don't really know how to stop it. It might just be a bit of bad luck on the games, but it's disappointing, because it's really sort of dented our hopes of getting back into the Champions League again. Not that we'd be able to play it, but, you know, I just want to finish this season off with a real sort of smash, and that's the reason I'm not changing the tactic dramatically and changing the shape. I know people have suggested stuff, but I don't have time to test it. I'm not going to throw in a new tactic just at random in the middle of a league game, because we'll probably lose. Even if it's a good tactic, we'll probably lose, because I wouldn't have time to actually set it up properly. And plus, we don't have the players for certain tactics. You know, we've signed players specifically for these types of tactic, so it's very difficult. We kind of painted ourselves into a corner in that sense. But anyway, let's jump in. Napoli, if they actually go and play that system against us again, I will be ecstatic, because I think at home we might actually have a much better chance against them. So Cherry, Dahul, Knope, Luis, Uchan, Matas, Orberg, Wagner, Sidibe and Ruiz, Francois Poirier, which sounds like a really nice French film star, Park Jae-won, Ivor Holt and Bar, Bulens and Aslan. Aslan, not Holt has actually come to me and said he wants to leave to get first team football, and I can sort of understand his grievances, because, you know, he's a decent player. Knope is still performing out of his skin at the moment, which is outrageously good. Here is how the league looks. In fact, I'll show you this because I forgot to show it in the earlier episode. So as you can see, we are sitting in 5th place now, 6 points behind Stade Rennais. It was down to 3 at one point, but that annoying loss against Saint Etienne really did give us the dick on that one. Cherry's got 16 goals, he's up there. Knope looks like he's going to be possibly up for Player of the Year this year, and that would be quite something from a free signing. 12 assists in the league, Luis has 12 as well, and 5 Man of the Match awards to go with it. Now, looking at the squad, top goal scorer is Alberto Cherry, now with 23 goals. But look at that for Luis. Luis has got 17 goals and 20 assists in 40 matches. Unbelievable stuff. Park Jae-won with 15 goals is great too, but Ivor Holt, 14 goals and 8 assists, and he's only started 9 times. That just shows you, he's the sort of player that I think, given 2 more seasons, but next year he would be outrageously good, and the season after that he would probably be maybe sort of Millington, Di Placido-esque, although I'm not entirely sure about that, since obviously he's only got like 4-star potential, I believe. So perhaps not quite as good as that, but he still does what he does, and he does it well. So there we go. As for assists, Luis has 20, of course. Knope has got himself 19 now, which is outrageously good as well. And Dahul with 18. We're going to have 3 players at least, I think. We're going to have 3 players with possibly into the 20s for assists, and maybe even 3 players into the 20s for goals. So that is saying something, and I'm very, very pleased with it. As for the average rating overall, Knope is flying on that one, but Luis is not far behind. Uchan's had a good year too. Anyone who's really disappointed that's played a lot of matches. So Mbar hasn't been superb this year, really, he hasn't. Bulens hasn't been great either, and neither has Matas, but at least they're still above 7s, really, so they've done well. Other players who haven't played that much, like Cohen Christensen's, in the game he's played, you can't really fault. 7.46 is pretty decent, though he has only played against poorer sides. Anyway, I'm going to jump into the game now before we go on for too long here. Right, they are still playing that, so fair play to them. Interestingly, dropping Jerome Sinclair. So what I'm going to do for this one, We're going to start off on control, of course, because we're the home team. We need to try and assert ourselves a little bit. We are still going to exploit the flanks, of course, because they've got that back five. And we'll just sort of play it from there and see where it goes, basically. But I just have a horrible feeling that this could be one of those annoying games that we get occasionally. And we've not had one for a little while. The Nantes game was a little bit like that, where they'll get ahead and then they'll just score with every touch. Like, we had a few of those before, and I think Porto had a game like that against us where they beat us 4-0 from 4 shots. Disappointing, though. Luis's ball in. Knope flicked away, and Luis will pick this up, though, but we get the first goal. That makes a huge difference for me. If we can score first against them, that puts the real pressure on them then, and I think that might be what, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back, and wow, Cherry with a big strike. But two shots already off in the first minute of the game is good to see. We're getting a couple of shots away nice and early. Possession-wise, looking a little bit better than we did in the last game. That was certainly one of the problems, but it certainly faded away in the second half when they just completely capitulated against us. Even if this has to be like a boring 0-0, I'd take it any day of the week. Nobody's actually hit the target with a shot yet, but first goal is so important. We score it, then I think that's done. Basically, Dunzos, and we can prepare for the Milan game. Dahul, Orberg, in for Cherry, and Cherry's put it in, but I think he's just offside there, which is disappointing. In fact, I've just realised I've not got the goal action on. There we go. Sorry, I had to turn it off to play the Sanettian game. Shame it's been disallowed. Perhaps we'll see a replay. I'm not entirely sure if we will or not. No, we won't, because I didn't turn it on until afterwards. Brignoli, this could be dangerous. Go on, Dahul. Oh, I've not seen one of those scored since the Pomfrey save. Those were the days when those actually went in. Uchan, long ranger, blocked. Dahul getting out to it, though. Not bad. Not bad at all. Uchan, maybe another long ranger. Goes in short for Matas. Knope with the strike. Luis on the rebound, and it's in the back of the net. And that is surely us now heading through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League now. Luis makes it 18th goal of the season as well. 6-3 now to us on aggregate. Aggregate? Who says it like that? Aggregate. We've been good. Possession is all ours. Shooting is all ours. Pass completion is all ours. I always felt like if we could just get a decent result in Italy, that we'd be able to beat them at home and go through. And I think that's going to have to be the plan against Milan, because I have a sneaky suspicion that they're probably a little bit of a better team than Napoli. Although we'll have a look. Maybe they just got an easier draw in the groups. Oh, wow, another good strike there. Maybe they just got a slightly easier draw because they were playing against Aalborg. So maybe they're not as good as we think they are. Maybe they are beatable. Who knows? Maybe we're going to go on a crazy good run in the Europa League. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Perhaps, you know, since we're not going to be doing another year, maybe we should just try and really concentrate all of our energy on trying to win the Europa League this year, since it's only... I just don't know, because, you know, the league is kind of irrelevant in that sense. I still want to play it, of course, and do well in it, but I just feel like maybe if we just try and concentrate on doing well in the Europa League. Luis is through again. Really should have made that 2-0. We're defending... Well, no, I was going to say we're defending well, but we should have dealt with that much, much better than that. But this game is... We're all over them, really. We could have 2 or 3 goals already. I'd like us to get a second goal just to really put the... you know, they'd still... Even a 3-1 win wouldn't be enough for them. 3-1 would still go through. They need to score 4 times against us, basically, in the next... Oh, they've got 1, though. Disappointing. Against the runner player, but Skaug, well, that's a great name. Dag Skaug, with the goal for Napoli. Gets 1 back for them, but they still need another 3. And that's the thing. I still have an awful feeling that they've got that in the tank, and it could just come out of nowhere. In the same way that PSG got those 4 late goals against us. Oh, Calorio nearly got there. In the league game, and I just don't want that to happen. And I don't think it will, personally, but you know how these things go. Sometimes... As we were against Napoli in the last game, you just get these weird performances out of absolutely nowhere. Good pressure from Knope, though. Slipping it through? No, not quite. Not quite. Tassigny. I'm surprised we're getting another highlight in the first half. Oh, God's sake. Don't let them make it 2-1 by half-time. That would be a ridiculous thing to happen. We've been so good in this game. Yarmolenko, and they do not deserve to be anywhere near us. There we go. Knope, we've got a break on now. He's got to slip it through for Cherry. He has to. Finds Luis. That's better. Cherry's through. Cherry scores, and there it is. Paris 2, Napoli 1, 7-4 on aggregate. And what did I say? I think it was going to be 7-5, was my prediction midway through that first game. And I think it probably could end up being higher than that. I was surprised Knope dropped this for Luis, but actually it turns out to be a really good ball. Luis with the assist. 21 assists this year for Luis. What a player he is. Oh, damn, he's another one of those ones that if he goes on for another year could just get even better, I think. He's got to be one of the... I think he has to be sort of potential Ballon d'Or contender at some point. Right, they've changed their system entirely now, which means I'm going to just turn off exploit the flanks because there isn't so much space there now. They've had to change the... I'm actually quite content to just leave it like that. I don't think we need to be exploiting the flanks anymore because there's a lot less space in behind there for our defenders, our fullbacks to get forward now. So we'll just sort of settle into hopefully what's going to be a nice solid second half performance, even if we don't score a goal. Dahul. And, ooh, not quite, not quite. Luis does well there, actually. He's certainly putting the pressure on. And that's all I really want from us, just to keep the pressure on. We're looking really good. I think we're just the better side, frankly. I think the name Napoli sounded scary, but we've made them look, you know, like their bark is worse than their bite, so to speak. A couple more goals on the night, though, would really do wonders for the confidence, particularly as we've got a, you know... well, we've actually got a nice cup game against Auxerre to get us into the semi-finals of the French Cup coming, so we could still win the French Cup. You know, there's a lot of lower league sides still left in that for some reason. There's a team from the third tier still left in it, which is interesting, but we got a second tier team in our round, so you never know what could happen. And I don't think PSG is still in it, so... perhaps another French Cup, and that would be our third French Cup of this save. So we've won some things in this save, and that's important. I've just noticed they're getting a player sent off. Mahmoud Biassouni goes off for Napoli, and that's them done now. They will, if they win now, that would be quite something. And I'd frankly have to say, if they won it from this position, I'd be gutted. But yeah, we've won the French Cup twice on this save already, so we've won some silverware, which is always nice. Wesley, please at least win the home leg. Oh, that's poor. That's really poor. We've been so good in this game. We don't deserve to be 2-2. But this is what I mean. It's just as well we had that first leg the way it was, because these sort of results where we've been the better side easily on the night, and it's going to end up being a draw probably in the end, and 7-5, interestingly. And that's what I mean. It's just as well we had that good performance in the away leg, because otherwise this would have been a bit embarrassing for us. Don't let them win the game, guys. Come on, they've got 10 men. There we go. Well done, Joseph. Let's go on break on them and make it 3-2 and just put the, 8 goals against Napoli over 2 legs is pretty damn impressive if we were to get it. Uchan now. Trying to keep this episode short, but unfortunately this one looks like it could be quite a lengthy one, so I apologise for that. It's all the goals going in that's caused the problems. Matas to Dahul. One more perhaps just for the icing on the cake and to give us the home win. Cherry goes through for Dahul. Not quite. He's won it back though. Back for Orberg. I would like to see us win on the night. It'd be poor if we didn't. Luis's flick on and Brignoli makes the big save again. We should be out of sight in this match, really, but I'll take a draw in this one circumstance. Luis's ball in, comes back to Dahul, blocked. Jesus Christ. Cherry can turn, can lose the ball, apparently. There we go, Paris 2, Napoli 2. No idea how they've managed to draw the game with us, but it doesn't matter because we are through to the next round. But we have still fallen short of those expectations. I'm actually with him on that one for once. Luis man of the match, of course, and, well... Milan strangely won 5-0 away, and then again, it's similar to us, really. Wow, I was actually right about the aggregate score of 7-5 too, so I'll take that. Should have put a bet on it. So we're going to be playing Milan in the next leg of this, not the next leg, in the next round of this competition, so that is going to be crazy difficult, frankly, and I'm not looking forward to it. Let's just quickly see who's still left in it. So, Dinamo Kiev, Sampdoria, Mönchengladbach, Palermo, Sporting, Feyenoord, PSV, Burnley, Dortmund, Tottenham, Liverpool, Cagliari, Bruges, Porto, and Milan, Paris. So... this isn't even the quarterfinals, is it? This is the second knockout round because of all the bloody games. But there you go. Look at that, 9 assists for Dahul in the Europa League is outrageous. There we go, guys. Right, so in the next episode, it's of course going to be double LiveCom of the 2 games against AC Milan, of course. So a few less games in that episode in terms of other games, but, it's all about the Europa League now. That's where we kind of need to be. I think we can do it, but you just don't know. So, guys, if you like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the episode. That would be magnificent. And if you'd like to even more than that, please do subscribe to the channel for more videos like this going into FM 60. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.